In the year 1119, deep within the ruins of Jerusalem's Temple Mount, a new brotherhood was born. Led by a French knight named Hugues des Pans, a small band of 9 men knelt in prayer. They were warrior monks, clad in worn armor and simple white mantles. Their vow was solemn and absolute, to protect Christian pilgrims traveling the perilous roads to the Holy Land. They called themselves the poor fellow soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon. This was the humble dawn of the Knights Templar. Their early days were marked by poverty. Legend says the first 2 knights were so poor they had to share a single horse, an image that would later be immortalized on their seal. But their devotion did not go unnoticed. King Baldwin II of Jerusalem, recognizing their value, granted them a headquarters on the Temple Mount itself. From this sacred ground, their legend began to grow. The real turning point came in 1129 at the Council of Troyes. Championed by the influential abbot Bernard of Clairvaux, the Templars were officially recognized by the Church. Pope Innocent II issued a papal bull, granting them unprecedented privileges. They answered to no one but the Pope himself, were exempt from taxes, and could build their own churches. With this divine endorsement, their simple white mantles were emblazoned with a striking red cross, the symbol of martyrdom, a declaration that they were willing to die for their faith. The order transformed. What began as a small protective detail swelled into one of the most elite fighting forces in history. They combined the austere discipline of monks with the fearsome skill of seasoned warriors. Novices underwent rigorous training, mastering horsemanship, strategy, and the art of combat. They lived by a strict code, foregoing worldly pleasures for a life of prayer and battle. This fusion of piety and military prowess created a soldier unlike any other. They became the shock troops of the Crusades, the tip of the spear in the Christian armies. Imagine the sight: a disciplined charge of Templar knights, a wave of white and red, thundering across the desert sands. Their reputation on the battlefield was legendary. At the Battle of Montgisard in 1177, a force of around 500 Templars helped a small Crusader army defeat a massive force of over 20,000, led by Saladin himself. They were known for their unshakable courage, fighting to the last man, never surrendering unless hopelessly outnumbered. Their battle cry for God and the Temple struck fear into the hearts of their enemies. But their power wasn't confined to the battlefield. The Templars became pioneers of international finance. As nobles and knights left for the Holy Land, they entrusted their lands and wealth to the Templars for safekeeping. In return, they received a letter of credit, which could be cashed at any Templar commandery across Europe or the Middle East. This created a secure, sophisticated banking network, the first of its kind. They managed estates, ran farms, and even offered loans to kings and popes. From London to Jerusalem, a vast network of fortified commanderies and preceptories sprung up, serving as military bases, recruitment centers, and financial hubs. Their wealth became immense, their influence unparalleled. They built magnificent castles like the Crac des Chevaliers in Syria, an impregnable fortress that dominated the landscape, a symbol of their enduring power and strategic genius. For nearly 2 centuries, the Knights Templar were a pillar of the Crusader states, but the tide of history was turning. The late 13th century saw the decline of Christian power in the Holy Land. One by one, strongholds fell. The final devastating blow came in 1291 with the fall of Acre, the last major Crusader city. The Templars fought valiantly in its defense, but the city was lost. The surviving knights were forced to retreat, first to the island of Cyprus. Their original mission, protecting pilgrims and defending the Holy Land, was now gone. They were a powerful, wealthy military order without a war to fight. Their purpose had evaporated, leaving them vulnerable. Back in Europe, their immense wealth and power had bred jealousy and suspicion. Kings who owed them vast sums of money began to see them not as allies, but as a threat estate within a state. King Philip IV of France, deeply in debt to the order and eager to seize their riches, was their most dangerous enemy. He saw an opportunity to destroy them and consolidate his own power. Working with a pope under his influence, Philip orchestrated a devastating conspiracy. Vicious rumors were spread, accusing the Templars of heresy, secret rituals, and unspeakable crimes. The whispers grew into a storm of fabricated charges. The trap was set. At dawn on Friday, the 13th of October, 1307, King Philip's agents struck across France. In a coordinated clandestine operation, hundreds of Templar knights were arrested. The date would forever be associated with bad luck. The knights were caught completely by surprise, dragged from their beds, and thrown into dungeons. The accusations were shocking: denying Christ, spitting on the cross, idolatry, and corruption. Under brutal torture, many knights confessed to these fabricated crimes. Their manuscripts were burned, their property seized, and their reputations systematically destroyed. The final act of this tragedy unfolded over the next 7 years. The order was officially disbanded by the Pope in 1312. The climax came in Paris. In 1314, Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the Knights Templar, had been imprisoned for years. He had initially confessed under torture, but now found the courage for one final act of defiance. Brought before a crowd to hear his sentence of life imprisonment, he stood tall. He retracted his confession, proclaiming his innocence and the purity of the order. King Philip, enraged, ordered him to be burned at the stake that very same day. As the flames rose around him on a small island in the River Seine, Jacques de Molay showed no fear. According to legend, with his dying breath, he cursed both King Philip and Pope Clement V, summoning them to appear before God's judgment within the year. In a strange twist of fate, both the Pope and the King died within months. With the death of its Grand Master, the Knights Templar officially ceased to exist. Their vast wealth was scattered, their castles fell into ruin, and their members were either executed, imprisoned, or absorbed into other orders. But their story didn't end in the fire. It transformed into myth. The abrupt and brutal destruction of such a powerful and secretive order gave rise to countless legends. Did some knights escape with their treasure? Did they form new secret societies, continuing their traditions in the shadows? From the Freemasons to tales of the Holy Grail, the shadow of the Templars stretches across the centuries. Their legacy endures, a haunting tale of faith, power, betrayal, and a brotherhood whose secrets may have dissolved into time, but whose symbol, that simple red cross, remains an icon of a lost and epic age. Thank you for watching. If you were fascinated by this journey through history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel,